Hey guys, it's Slender. So, I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do to beat Isabella. That's the final boss. And you know what, to be honest, Isabella is actually a lot easier than 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙦, the snake dude. So, yeah, we beat her after like 4 attempts. So I'm going to go over all the different abilities, what you want to look out for, and also what you're going to want to, get to prepare for the fight. Corruption potions, corrupted coatings, trophies, any corrupted ward armor that you can find and get your hands on. And you're going to want to start collecting this stuff because when the mutations come out, it's going to be even harder. So without further ado, you know how I do it. Let's get right into it. Oh, and if you if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you don't want to do that, no problem. I appreciate you being here and leaving comments. So again, let's get right into it. So first thing I want to talk about is the kinds of gear and what weapons pair up good against corrupted. This applies to the whole dungeon, but definitely to Isabella, the final boss fight. So first of all, you want any armor that has corrupted bane and corrupted ward. That's going to mitigate, corrupted ward's going to mitigate your corruption damage that you take, and corrupted bane's going to dish out more damage to the enemies. You're going to also want to use corrupted ward potions and corrupted coatings, so that you can do more damage and again mitigate more damage. And then last but not least, you're going to want to get those corrupted trophies up in your house. It's going to help with the entire dungeon, and especially when this is comes over to the mutated dungeons. When this is mutated, it's going to be really tough. So those are all the different things you're going to want. So look for the perks: corrupted ward, corrupted bane for the armor, and then of course corrupted potions and corrupted coatings and your trophies. Now, as far as which weapons you want to use, corrupted takes extra thrust damage. So bows, rapiers, spears, muskets, all that stuff. You're going to want to use those. That does extra damage to the enemies. They're going to take 20% more damage, and then also 15% damage for nature. So you healers out there, I mean, you already do it, but keep on auto attacking and hitting the enemy. And then of course 30% extra arcane damage. Now, you don't want to use hammers and you don't want to use ice gauntlets in here. So those are both weak, towards the enemies. So that's everything that you need to know as far as, preparing, getting the right gear. And then of course, use some honing stones too for the boss fights. At least it's going to help a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and go over the different abilities. So she has a nasty cleave. So it's just an AoE that's in front of her. So make sure you're standing behind her. And just like with Thorpe and when you fight her in the previous dungeons, you're probably still going to get hit by it even if you're behind her. So just watch for it. Do a dodge backwards or block, when you see it coming, and mitigate some of that damage. So just be careful with the cleave. It does a lot of damage. Next big ability that she does is this like corrupted vines thing. So it's kind of weird. In the first phase, she's going to summon some vines that come out of the ground in like an X or a cross shape. Now she'll stomp on the ground right before doing this, so make sure as soon as you see her stomp, you either stand directly behind her or directly in front of her to avoid the damage. But in the second phase, it's kind of like the 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙦 boss fight, the snake guy. Somebody's going to get a glyph above their head, and when you see that glyph, get ready to dodge because the vines will like track onto whoever she targets with that, and just get ready to dodge or block to reduce the damage. But I would definitely try to dodge it. It does a ton of damage. So be careful with those vines and watch for them. And if you get the glyph above your head, get ready to dodge. Another thing she's going to do is kind of like the Scylla fight when she throws that wave out. This wave is red and it's much wider, and it goes pretty much all the way across the arena. So anytime you see this big giant red wave coming at you, iframe through it or just run to the side. I would just iframe because it's pretty wide, and running to the side of it to avoid it's probably going to take too long and you're going to get hit. So again, this is another one that'll one-shot squishy, so be really careful. Now healers, this one's for you. Every once in a while, somebody's going to get targeted by Isabella, and she's going to give that person a dot. It's a burn, so you're going to be taking fire damage, and it's pretty nasty. It does a lot of damage. So as a healer, just make sure whoever has it, put a sacred ground under them. That does the trick. You really don't need to do much more than that. Or you could try dispelling it with a splash of light. I wasn't able to heal on this fight when we won it, so I don't really know if that's going to work, but it might. And also try the heavy attack with the perk and the the life staff tree to see if that can dispel it too. But again, if nothing else, just give them a sacred ground. They should be okay. So the last mechanic, and probably the hardest one that I want to talk about, is when she flies up in the air, she's going to summon this monolith. just like the corrupted monoliths that we clear out, you know, in the portals. So when she summons it, it's gonna have a bunch of swirling corruption around it. Stay away from it. After a while, the corruption, because it's gonna do AoE damage. So after a while, that swirly corruption is gonna go away, and one of the players needs to go up to it and close it, just like you're closing a portal or another monolith, you know, in the portals. And it takes a while, and you know, you can do it, but one thing is you got to be careful when you're closing it, because you'll see these little AoE circles on the ground where meteors are going to come down. So when you're in the middle of closing this corrupted monolith, just get ready to dodge if one of the circles appears under your feet. And it's actually really, really easy. But the other thing that you need to watch for when you're closing these monoliths is not only do you have to dodge and get out of the way for those circles, but you're also going to potentially take one of those big waves right to the face. So as you're closing the monolith, turn your camera so that you can see Isabella. Make sure you can see the ground underneath your feet, and watch for the wave coming at you that you're going to have to dodge, and watch for those little circles. Now this next ability, she does like this spin with her wings. It does tons of damage. It's kind of hard to predict, so I don't know what to tell you about that one. Just if you can and you see it coming, just back off as quickly as you can. So she'll just spin around and she'll do damage to anybody that's standing next to her. So just watch out for that. Another thing you're gonna have to watch for is sometimes when she flies up in the air, instead of swooping down, she just smashes to the ground. So when she jumps up in the air, she will actually put a marker down on the ground where she's gonna land, so everybody has to clear out of that spot, because she's gonna do like a ground slam and really do some major damage. So when she jumps up in the air, she's going to do one of two things: either swoop around a bunch and try to hit you, or she's just going to mark the ground with some kind of marker. I forgot what it looks like. You'll see here. And she's going to slam into the ground right there and do a big AoE that really, really hurts. So just be careful for that too. Now, every once in a while, Isabella's going to fly up in the air and she's going to swoop down multiple times. I've seen her do it like 4 times in a row to the same person. And she's going to dive down super, super fast and, you know, try to hit you. And it does tons of damage. The tank will be okay. Heavy armor will be okay. But if you're wearing light, it may one-shot you. It hits pretty hard. So my suggestion, when you see her fly up in the air, make sure you have stamina and get ready to dodge or iframe through it. It's pretty easy to dodge if you are paying attention, but if you're not paying attention, you're probably going to get nailed. So just be careful. So when you're fighting her, there's going to be a couple spots on the ground in the arena that look like corrupted. It's all like wiggly and weird looking. Do not stand in that. It will kill you so fast. The first 2 fights I ever did on this one, I was standing in it. I just could not figure out what was killing me. I had no idea. And you wouldn't think, you know, you would take damage, but yeah. And also, if somebody dies in that little corrupted spot, and I'll show you here in the video, make sure, you know, you don't res them, or just get up to it really slowly before you res them, because you're going to be taking damage too. And you'll probably die before you get them up. So watch those corrupted spots. They're the same every fight. They're in the same spot. So just be careful, you know, be aware of them. So that's pretty much it for the fight. Once you complete it, you're going to get a little, you know, cutscene that shows you the rest of the story, the close of the chapter, and also you can turn in this quest. This is the repeatable quest from Rosa. Just like Barkamedias, you can get this quest every time you come in, and it's kind of weird. It's going to give you this chest and an amulet. Now this chest has a bunch of weapons in it, but when I got it and opened it up, it's a bunch of really low level stuff. So I don't know why it's only 504 and so on and so forth, but the weapons look awesome. Check this out. So this is a hatchet. I mean, it is awesome looking. Here's a great axe. Pretty cool looking. Got a hammer. Again, pretty cool looking. And I think that's all I got. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I got. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. I was super excited. It was a lot of fun too. So, oh, and you also get a free orb. So you can actually get 2 free orbs. One from the quest from Monolith Summon, and then one from Rosa. When you turn in that quest and open up that box, I got a free orb. I don't know if that's a 100% thing, but I definitely got one on the first box. So you probably just get it once, but pretty cool stuff. So guys, I hope that helped. If it did help, you know, like and subscribe. If not, again, just appreciate you being here. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or maybe I might have missed something about the fight. So yeah, let me know. And that's all I got for you guys. Have a great day, everybody.